Hello, hello, hello. Who do we have out there in the void of space tonight? That's right, we're back. And we're back with another Space Engineers 1 stream. And before we come on, I've seen something.
Oh, what have you seen?
And now we're ready. Hello! I just thought I updated that text under your name, and then I realized it hadn't been updated yet. So
was I still Marek?
Yeah, you were still Marek. I was like, Marek has changed, everybody. Welcome. So I did a last minute fix there. So let's see. Hopefully you guys can hear us okay. Always.
Yeah, hopefully we sound good.
I have Aaron maxed out, so hopefully you can hear him nice and loud.
Would you like me a bit louder? I can be a bit louder as well.
I think I might be a tad louder than you. Let's see. It's always a tough one.
A little bit. Yeah, I just thought I'd back away a bit from the camera this time because usually I'm like nearly eating the camera, so I thought we'll be a bit further away.
Now
I'm doing my sporadic hand motions all over the place.
Let's see here. I'm just so in the chat. I've seen so many people. I see I don't know some names. Renegoosh, Ash, All Things Josh, SE Family Epps, World Famous Shikozu, Mad Scottish. I see Matthew, Joanna, David's, Alia Bro, Mysterium, Beeblebum. I also see in the Twitch, I see Lord Clang himself, Dan2D3D. Clang is here. SC Modder, Little Bit Streams, and many more. So great to see you guys. And we're back. We are back. And I say, we've been alternating the streams. We're doing SE2, then SE1. It won't necessarily always be like that if like an update suddenly interrupts the flow. But on the, the off weeks, I guess, in between, I think it makes sense for right now to actually do that. But I want to ask Aaron, what do you think about all this?
I was just gonna say, right? Does it always seem like when we do an SE1 week, a ton of exciting stuff comes out for SE2? Like we release a load of leaks and a load of other things, and then the stream's SE1, and then when we're doing SE2, something happens in SE1, and we want to feature and showcase it.
It does feel a bit like that.
Noticed.
I know. We spend half the stream yapping, right?
Yeah, but the other thing is, the best thing is, there's always things happening. The team are working super hard on Space Engineers 1 on the next update that is going to be mind-blowing, and Space Engineers 2 is of course in heavy development, and there is very exciting things on the way. We've got water, we've got clouds, we've had some sneak peeks, some of their beautiful landscapes as well, but we'll get onto that shortly. It's been another incredible week. It's lovely to see how the community are producing so many fantastic different creations, and they're also very excited for the next step. And the Fieldwork DLC that was out weeks ago now has still brought, like, a lot of people are still playing and getting stuck in and building their bunkers. And on top of that, we've still got the skins competition running till the 30th, so there's still time to collect all them tasty skins.
Oh yeah, another week on that. So I mean, there's lots of questions, and because of that, to ask you guys. So I guess we'll start with that and say, like, how's the skin hunting been going, guys? Please tell me you've got some what's the word? Some rare
lava.
ones.
Yeah,
lava skins.
Some people have picked the lava one. What's the most rare one? Is the Egyptian one? What's the name of it? It's
Pharaoh skin.
The Pharaoh skin. That's one of the rarest ones. So it'd be nice to see if anyone has picked the Pharaoh skin up.
I think last week there was someone that had like Pharaoh gloves, which I was impressed to hear about. But let us know, guys.
Just the gloves. You need the full kit. Get out there and get scavenging.
I'm just seeing here. I'm gonna let's see. Oh no, trying to hide this. This is good. Cool. More cow.
Got the lava boots.
Lava boots, nice. More cow welders. That's always good.
Yeah. I do like it. Oh, a cowboy suit would be cool, wouldn't it? I know you can get. There's a mod, isn't? Have you seen the mod that you can get where you can put cowboy hats on and other accessories?
I definitely have seen that. Yeah, yes, I have.
Yeah. That's a great one. That's like one of them unnecessary necessary mods.
Let's see what else you've got. Oh, thank you. The background. Yeah, this was I think this was part of a screenshot competition some time ago, and while we're not rated down, I mean, me and Aaron before the stream were talking. There may or may not be some kinds of, competition on the horizon. But I won't say too much. I'll leave it to Aaron. But I know we haven't had one for a bit, so we're excited for that.
Yeah, we're working on getting one out to you guys as well. So it will be a Space Engineers 1 competition, but I won't go into any more details until we've got everything clear, lined out, and on the website ready for you. But when it is ready to enter, then you'll be told straight away. There'll be plenty of links, and it'll be outlined in great, crisp detail. So the creation or whatever you'll be building for it will be very fun. It'll be very exciting. Something that I definitely wanted to do since I've started working here is run a competition for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always wondering because like we've done in the past, like we've done obviously screenshot competitions, we've done video competitions, we've done a couple of build competitions that I can't even remember now. It was years ago. I'm pretty sure we had a competition to get like stuff in the game, like I don't know if it was encounters or cargo ships. There was something that we had, but it was so long ago.
It was difficult. It was a difficult one, that wasn't it? Because
you have to check there's no hidden things.
Yeah, because we've done that plenty of times, and I've done it some on my own servers as well. And people try and sneak stuff in, like hidden cargo containers disconnected with loads of loot and supplies in, so they know that in that particular wreck they can access something, or booby traps with walls that sandwich players, or ships that rip apart. There's tons of booby traps, and we've all made a booby trap in our time. So that would be a fun idea. To be honest, it'd be fun to make some booby trap ships as a competition, but maybe for another day. I don't want to promise people to get things in the game. That's the saddest bit, isn't it, really? When you say to people like, oh, we would like to put your ships in the game, but then a few updates happens and it ends up getting removed and replaced with the new updated model, and then people feel a bit upset that it's no longer there.
I always think it's really cool to be able to do that. It is definitely more challenging. I mean, for one of mine has always been the music competition. I've always loved that, and we've done 2 already, and I don't know if it was what the gap was between the first and the second. It was at least 2 years, but maybe it was 3 years. But it's been about, hold on a minute, I think it's been at least a year and a half, because we did on the 10th anniversary. I'm pretty sure we had another song contest results, so that's probably due in a year or so.
Yeah, so because I want to get back on the competitions for you guys, and also give you some really nice prizes that are merch as well as keys as well, so that you've got something physical, some physical Space Engineers get stuff, because I think that's really fun to have. There's nothing better than having a Space Engineers mug or a Space Engineers t-shirt or whichever sort of thing you like. I prefer the mugs personally, but it's great fun, isn't it, Joel, having the actual phizical item there with the logos or the roster.
Oh, it really is.
Yeah.
No, I love that
on the side of your coffee mug or a coffee. It's just nice personal touch.
Another thing is we're probably due is plushie as well. Plushie. I know people always like them plushies, so we're probably. What's that?
I've heard things about a plushie. Ooh. I've heard, so there may be another one on the way, but I think it's best to leave that until we give the official information. But it'd also be nice to hear what sort of plushie the chat would actually like to see.
Yeah, I mean we've done the polls in the past, like what do you want? But let's hear it, guys. What if I don't know? Well, 2 questions for you. A, do you have any of the plushies, and if so, how many of them? And what thing in the Space Engineers universe would you want to have as a plushie? We've heard lots of things like the welders, the grinders, Clang, however that might look, but let us know.
Because I've seen a few requests for a Marek action figure as well. So...
like a commando or something.
Yeah, exactly.
He didn't not as much as these days, but I remember like maybe he does, but I remember Marek when I met. He often wore like camo trousers, like it was quite a common style for him. So it would be cool.
That would be a very interesting plushie.
But no, guys, it's just as an intro here. It's been so great seeing the community is alive as ever. I mean, just even if you don't look at SE2 or you don't look at SE1, there's so much going on. But then combined, it's just like it's madness. It's crazy, and a lot of people
ideas popping up.
Yeah, I know. Keep a note. Yeah, screenshot that. Someone screenshot that. Armor block plushie, bobblehead, Clang Cola.
Yeah, very fun ideas. I like these guys. Which one of them would you have, Joel? Cyberdog plushie. Ooh, I really like that idea. That's really fun.
What would I have? Oh.
Cable plushie. Oh.
I guess we have, like, even though the Cyberhound isn't even in the game anymore, like, I kind of feel like it was a wild ride, but I don't know if there's enough like. It was like quite an old concept. I think a lot of people probably don't even know what that is, to be honest. It was years ago. We have so many new members. It's a legend. It's a myth, a legend for sure. Cable plushie, yes. I'm sure that would be popular.
The Clan Cola probably would be a popular idea. And then
the welder? What about a welder? Or like a plushy weld? Like, and I mean, you've got a lot of real welders, I know, so it's probably...
Well, only one real welder because they're a bit expensive welders.
The red ship was an idea and stuff like that, but yeah. Jikozu says, "I'll buy any plushie you guys make." How about like a drone or something? That could be kind of cool. Like if there's a drone, like the Frostbite scenario has some cool drones, like some kind of like, you know, I don't know, it has to be clearly Space Engineers in my mind though, but yeah.
Yeah. Like a camera plushie with a Velcro backing or something.
Exactly. There you go. But with this shoulder patches, that's not a bad idea. I mean, there were always, you know, we always get to adding more merch, and there's actually a ton of stuff that we could be doing more. But this is all just bonus at the end of the day when we think about this and this what is happening, right? In terms of just a summary, SE1, we just had the fieldwork update and the fieldwork pack. People are going nuts for it. People are saying it's the best DLC ever. You know, I'm inclined to agree with that. And then on the kind of coming soon, we have the next update 207 with a big focus on survival, bringing environmental hazards and also farming and food. And some of you guys may have seen, it's not quite public yet, but I would imagine a lot of you guys in the chat who are diehard engineers have probably seen some of the teasers floating around regarding food, the first of first teasers. So many things, as I'm always saying, is happening with SE1. And just briefly, before we get into the showcase here, we have SE2 news. Now, give me an 07 in the chat if you saw the new environments for SE2. Let me see. Let's see who's actually seeing this here. And I think this addresses another one of the points, and that is, I see quite often people are saying, oh, you know, it's going to take 10 years for SE2 to get to the level of SE1, and you know, comments like this, which I can kind of, you know, I understand why, you know, you might, you know, feel that, but I do believe, I mean, I've known that it's not going to take that course. It's going to be a very much a different course, but hopefully some of these teasers that are coming out, which I'm about to bring up on screen now, here we go, will show you guys that this is the case. So here we go. Marek's Dev Diary from yesterday.
Ooh, yes, here we go.
We're gonna fly over this here before we jump into SE1 showcase. We're determined to have a long showcase session today, and you can see a little preview in the back here. So SE2 team, they're working on VS2 now, procedural world generator. So very nice improvements to asteroid fields and rings, realistic distribution here, clouds, planet flora generator, backpack building and welding. I'm just kind of going a higher overview here because we want to fly through this. And from the water team, we have some water rendering optimizations, a short video here showing a work in progress of water rendering. Now, I don't know what's going on to the quality here. Is that? It's probably just because it's probably the compression of the video here. But yeah, you can kind of see what's going on. But a lot to talk about, and you know, we recently had an internal meeting regarding this, and you know, I can say even the guys internally were just like, you know, blown away by some of the stuff that's going on here. And actually, if I scroll down, you'll see the dam as well here. So the water team gave what might be their best presentation. Yes, they did this internally. It was amazing. They showcased several impressive improvements, enhanced performance, you know, new marching cubes for the water surface is what they're calling this. New particle effects for dynamic water. Think waterfalls and splashes from your ship. Improved resolution of the water simulation, plus many other upgrades. You know, we're talking like, you know, just to throw it out there, we're talking like, you know, 400%, for example. Like these kind of numbers, like massively improved. And this is just right now. And think think of water when it comes out. Think of water when it, a year after it's come out, and the optimizations that will follow. So the guys are really cooking here, and here are some screenshots. So what do you think, Aaron?
Oh, it's amazing, isn't it? Like, what I think is really important is we've been really transparent with the water, and we're showing you how it's coming along with development. Like, the early water that we showed almost looked like a bit gravy-like, didn't it? It looked very blobby, but now it has a real flow to it. It also has that foaming edges, and there's going to be some more water footage coming out that I'm going to be putting out shortly, but soon you'll see it sort of splash over, and there'll be effects for it as it races down the canyon. And it's nice to see that we're using the same scenario as well. We're using this dam scenario, so we continue to use this because we can see it incrementally, increase in performance, how things are going. And in some of the earlier videos, you would have noticed that the frame rate was a little bit lower, and hopefully over time you'll see that frame rate get better. You'll see us plowing ships into that water, different objects interacting with the water there as well. But what's really cool is you see on the right there the sort of it looks like a thermal image, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So basically now they can map with the water. I believe they were explaining this in the presentation. So that is an invert of the picture on the left. So that is where the water interacts with the voxels. So you can see where it's flat up against the dam wall, and it's flat up around the mountains and stuff. It's incredible. This is the new technology in this water department that's going to make it so much more smoother and dynamic. It's going to be beautiful to see.
And you guys will know better than we do, potentially. I mean, maybe because of the hive mind, but to the best of my knowledge, like, there is water simulation out there, of course, for various, in the movie industry, and some games have some form of it, right? But I still believe that this is groundbreaking on a scale that we're talking here, on a planetary scale. That's it. Like, volumetric water isn't a new thing in some ways. It's it's newer, but on such a scale and in such a an environment that can be totally manipulated and adjusted and changed and interacted with, it's really very, very, very exciting. And I do wonder how long it will be until I guess the general industry, I feel like, and gaming world picks up on this, not just for being SC2, but actually the tech that is contained inside of it.
But yeah, it's quite fascinating that really though as well, because for years now I've seen lots of water demonstrations in games, but I've not really seen games really harness the power of like a water system like this. So I agree with you completely. I feel like it is kind of pioneering in this direction, and the ability for players to use that water to generate power and create systems rather than, because the other thing is there's lots of games where you just stick something in the water and it generates power. This is going to be something a lot more exciting and a lot more interesting when it comes to how that water is going to flow, how it's going to move. Now, they were also talking about when they punch the smaller holes now in these dams and these other areas, that they're getting the water to start passing through it. That I think is really quite incredible as well.
Yeah, and without sharing too much, like, initially, let's see. The thing is, it was like, some things were disabled when they were, like, for example, like, how big of a hole could water go through, right? Because, like, if there's a tiny little hole and stuff, like, when it has to be checking for all these holes, like, it's it's obviously going to perform, it's going to be more heavily performance heavy. So, but of course, in an ideal realistic environment, you'd want to be able to have the smalls be as the holes be as small as possible, and have the water kind of get through these gaps and cracks or whatever it is. So this is something I know that the team is also working on, is like kind of in a way gradually decreasing the smallest size that water can flow through, if that makes sense. I mean, again, not from like a realism point of view, because obviously realistically water will get through anything that's not fully sealed, right? But obviously, from a performance point of view, there's like, you see this mesh, it has to, calculations have to be going down. So I'm just doing a little bit more info there, but without sharing too much right now.
Yeah, that's it. It's always a battle of like, we want to show you how much they're progressing and developing, but at the same time we want to keep a little bit behind just in case. We want to keep you excited but not spill all of the secrets of water just yet, especially when all these things are heavily work in progress. You can see that we've got it all over the screen, so this could change again. They could implement a new system and water could then respond differently differently. So when we're taking a look at that, I think it's just super important to remember it is work in progress. Like, things are going to change. It might be completely different when it gets to you.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's always important. All this work in progress stuff, and that's always a good point to note. And Axel's asking, can you guys release a paper on this? I am sure. I have no doubt there will be something like a paper or like a documentary or who knows.
This is a game in itself, really, the water, isn't it? Because this like, you've got Space Engineers, and now you're going to have Space Engineers water play. Like, when the water mod was introduced to Space Engineers 1, it created a whole community focused around shipbuilding, water building, oil derricks, like fighting aircraft carriers. Like, there was a whole universe created there. So this is a new area that players are going to be able to explore, and it'll blow their minds.
And the other thing is, I wanted to show... Oh, I've gone blank. No, that was fine. But no, I'm seeing more and more players like who are still very much deep in SC1 right now because of all the, all the new blocks and the field work, quality stuff, But they're seeing these screenshots and they're imagining what they can do with water, the like dams, submarines, all of it, and it's like, wow. So if I scroll down here, we've still got more to look at. Now look at this, guys. Art and visuals. The artist made another path to improving Vox materials of planets. The results are stunning. Screenshots are starting to look photorealistic. On top of that, our planets are fully volumetric and destructible, allowing players to dig tunnels of materials. Just look at that. When you start zooming in and you start seeing, like, this, like, in terms of a step up over SE1 planets, it's like, I don't even know if it's 2 times or 3 times or 4 times or what times it is, but it's massively in terms of, like, realism. You look at the cliffs and the steepness and the difference in, like, I don't even know.
Yeah.
Like, it's
crazy.
So
I think some of the areas we can touch on in this is, like, one of the big focuses has been making sure the textures as well, when they merge together, it looks more natural. There isn't big sort of one bright coloured green next to a light coloured tan sort of area. But ideally, as the mountains appear, the cliffs, as there's canyons and valleys, like, there's different shading, different textures, and of course there's going to be caves. So there's going to be caves to explore. It's beautiful. The world feels crafted and natural in a way as well.
No, I mean, it's so true. And I also think, what I think when I think about, I'm always thinking about what modders are going to do with this, right? I mean,
I cannot wait. I can't wait to see what modders do with water before they turn it into lava. I can't wait to see what sort of planets players are going to build, what sort of, and the other thing is, remember, modding is not too far away. So we're going to be seeing what players are starting to mod, right around the corner.
And we're also having players, there is conversations about, okay, well, what about the gameplay? Like, of course, this water, these features, it looks exciting, right? But in terms of a gameplay loop, like Marek touched on it on the last dev diary, actually, and obviously this is super important, and it's coming. I mean, with the end game being having human NPCs and then the campaign and everything, there's so much coming. But I still feel like you guys should hopefully see that things are moving much quicker than SE1 in terms of when SE1 started out. So you're not going to have to wait as long to get the same... I mean, it's hard to say the exact same because some things might be different in SE2 than SE1. But in terms of, it took some years to get planets. It took... never had water, right? And in terms of some of these blocks and mechanics, I think... SE2 is going to feel like it's going to go much quicker in terms of development. And a lot of that is because we have a bigger team, but also because of the efficiency of that team as well. So, yeah, that was just my bit of spiel there.
No, exactly. And especially because parts of the team are working ahead of the clock as well. So they're not just working on the next segment, they're working on the segment ahead.
Things in parallel, right?
Yeah, yes. So it means that lots of things are being worked on at the same time. And then they're also planning there for the future. So when things like for instance, like multiplayer, as we discussed, it has already been thought about and worked in. So, you know, when it does come to finally release it, it's not going to be, oh, let's stick multiplayer in. It's a thought from the start. Like all of these features, all the things on the roadmap, everything we've talked about has been planned out meticulously from the start. And that's what's allowing us to hit these sort of goals with development and then deliver some really quality stuff to you guys as well. And Joel said briefly, you said before, like, oh, before it reaches Space Engineers 1, but Space Engineers 2 in its way is going to be, I wouldn't say a totally different game, but it's going to be a totally different experience. And just talking about the water, the new systems, the building systems, it's going to have, yes, it's going to have the flavor of Space Engineers, but it's going to take it to that new exciting direction, and hopefully direction that'll be inclusive and allow players to get stuck in right from the start and be able to build without a massive sort of, oh my god, I've got all these things to learn. So we'll see what happens. I think it's going to be very exciting, the updates that you'll see coming to Space Engineers 2.
Definitely. And I mean, we're looking at one right now. I mean, look at the water thrusters concept. I mean, again, just the fact that's 7.5 meters, that's a huge water thrust on the left here. So you can just imagine submarines, it's gonna, water drones, who knows what you guys are gonna build here. So
I know they're already thinking about how to weaponize it.
Of course.
Underwater missile drones or something mad.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, I cannot wait.
Always with the weapons.
Yeah, that's it. That's like I think there's a good 80% of the community who just want to build the weapon out of anything. Like before there's weapons in Space Engineers 2, the community will have already built weapons of mass destruction. And there was a point in Space Engineers 1 before we released physical weapons that players were firing massive blocks at things to try and destroy it. And it was an incredible time because it wasn't as easy as just pulling or clicking your mouse or your controller. You had to invent a weapon, work out how to launch it, and then work out how that was going to impact the target. So it's like a different world. Maybe there needs to be some servers like that without weapons and it's all player-based weapons, but who knows, eh?
I'm just seeing some, reading the chat here. The let's see, and again we have some water, underwater plants as well. Look at that flowing here, beautiful. And that was the end of this post, but I think it was a pretty good one, right, Aaron? A lot of juicy material in here. I mean, this is just so.
And of course, it's all work in progress, so more things are going to change, like I keep saying, because I just want people to understand that as we change things through development, we take different directions, and something that we show here, especially with Space Engineers 2, with the team doing all our marketing and showing all our sneak previews, we want to be very transparent and show you what's happening, but at the same time, this could cause issue because I want you to understand that sometimes the information can change and things do get updated.
Yeah, that's always important to say. But this is where you guys are involved. You guys are involved nice and early and to give us feedback throughout. I'm actually just, and the last thing before we jump into the showcase here is, just in case you missed it, it wasn't the intro, so probably not, but yesterday we had another weekly update. This week, adding hydrogen thrusters and half armor slopes to the game. So here we go. Now, you guys saw this yet, but it is looking awesome.
I've seen it. It's a very nice video, this.
I wonder who made this.
I was having a good look through the comments on the thruster, and people really liked the hydrogen effect. People were also wondering how the hydrogen system is going to work, with the actual, fluids and whatnot, how quick it's going to burn. So there's a lot of complex questions on that back end, but for the moment it's in the game. It's an alternative thruster that you can integrate onto your grids, and it looks beautiful. It's a massive flame, so that's what I like. I like a big fireball. We all do, don't we?
Oh yes, this looks, this is awesome. And I say the weekly updates are going to continue, in between larger updates, guys. So definitely that's also something pretty much. I mean, I'm not sure if it. I think I could be wrong if I'm wrong, Aaron. I'm pretty sure when we released 1.2 on Monday, I think there wasn't a weekly update on that Thursday.
Yes,
but normally there is. If there's not an update happening.
So basically the progress behind the scenes is that if we're doing a mega update, all our attention, all the teams working on the update. If there's not a mega update on, we'll release our weekly update, and that's kind of the process that's going on behind the scenes. So all our resources are put into making sure the update that's getting out to you GPU is polished, it looks great, and all the features are working, and we're ready to respond to your feedback. Otherwise, we're focusing on the weekly update.
Let me just see here. I'm just getting the game up here as well.
Just having a quick look. A few questions popping
Yeah,
up
if you
in the
see any
chat.
questions, go for it, Aaron. Yeah, I'm just checking the servers going, and we can answer questions throughout. We can do a bit of SE1 and SE2 questions, you know, but while we do this showcase. But yeah, go ahead, Aaron.
I was going to say that one of the questions that I did see pop up was why, you know, I don't even think we can answer this, but people wanted a bigger hydrogen thruster. Like the hydrogen thruster that they've been given this week in the weekly update, like wasn't big enough, you know, compared to, you know, the biggest ion thruster. I don't know if the guys agrees in chat. Yeah, someone was saying a 7x7, I think 7x7 thruster. So they wanted a giant hydrogen thruster. And the acceleration of a giant hydrogen, I mean, you must have played with it when you put a hydrogen thruster on a small lightweight ship and you hit the button and your neck would physically break off. Oh man! Into the next dimension, but especially with the new speed as well, you'll be getting up to that new speed a lot quicker. You'll be de-accelerating a lot quicker with the hydrogen thrusters as well, and it'll be interesting to see what sort of advantages and disadvantages the hydrogen thrusters take on Space Engineers 2 over Space Engineers 1 as well. That some players are considering.
Yeah, I was just so I zoned out there for a second. I was just checking the server password. It happens to me sometimes.
Yeah, because the other thing is with all these blocks that get added in, a team is also thinking about the future of when it comes to balancing them as well. Because as we know in Space Engineers 1, all the thrusters are kind of balanced and have their advantages and disadvantages over each other. And I know there's tons of people that go straight for hydrogen because it is relatively cheap with ice and whatnot to make. Where there is some people who build hybrid ships, and I'm a fan of a hybrid ship because when you're out in space, why not use ion? Use, you know, your batteries to power your ship. So it'll be interesting to see just what the advantages and disadvantages will be of these thrusters, especially with the water thruster. What's that going to be like? How's that going to behave?
Ooh, and this point, only like we see some very nice presentations, so we sometimes get a little bit of an earlier sneak peek. But in general, like there are still some questions that haven't been answered yet, if that makes sense, guys. You know, like there are still some things that haven't been finalized, and we're gonna keep, like, whenever you watch these streams, I think in parts of these streams become predictable, but that is the part of the point, and that is us hammering home certain ideas. And one of those is that the feedback that you're providing, be wherever it is, via videos, via the support site, via Discord, wherever it is, it's like super important to basically, you know, have every single part of this. I'm talking about SE2 now. This new game be exactly what, you know, we all want it to be, as good as it, you know.
I was just going to say, today was a great example. Like one of the designers contacted us and said, "Hey, you know, there's I want some ideas, some feedback from the community on a particular element." So the first thing I do is start collecting all the information, all the feedback that you've left on the support site, what you've left on our social media and different elements, and I broke it down and then displayed it in a format to see, you know, this is what a portion of our community are interested in to do with it, you know, this element. So the feedback you guys provide is absolutely crucial, and when we assess it and we look through it, we're looking for, you know, just how possible it is to achieve, of course, because there's some amazing ideas. There's some ideas that would complicate the game far too much, and there's some ideas in between, so it's like a bit like the Goldilocks sort of approach. You've got to find the one that's just right.
Yeah, and there's also this challenge where, like, I say what we all want it to be. Like, obviously there has to be some middle ground, because I think some people would have it more. I mean, I'm using simple, like, this is very, like, you know, I don't know, like I say arcadey, but that's kind of like a simplification. But, you know, arcade versus realistic and so on. And I think most Space Engineers players like a little bit of realism, and I think there are some that want it like super realistic, and there's others that are like, well, if it's like too grindy, then, you know, then it kind of takes the fun out of it. But then I guess others would say the fun is the grind. That's what I'm saying. There's stuff like this where it will never be at least the base game will never be like maybe exactly what every single person wants, but that's again where mods and then where the settings and everything else comes into play. A little bit like SE1 now, like you can kind of make the game however hard and realistic as you want, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because that's a really interesting topic you actually brought up there, because I know a lot of the more veteran community, the people that have been playing for years and years, like the more hardcore and realistic survival experience, but they also really like the idea of having an option, you know, where you can basically customize Space Engineers to how you want to play.
Yeah.
And that was something we've said about the new update for Space Engineers 1 that's coming, is like all these survival features that are going to be added are optional, so you can tick and add what you want, so you can play at the level you see fit. And this applies for with Space Engineers 2 as well. We want an experience where new players can jump in and they're not discouraged, but at the same time we want our more advanced players to be able to get in and construct the most, you know, magnificent of creations, so things with super layers of detail, build advanced systems, advanced missiles. So it's a careful balance of when we want new people to come in and experience the game. Like if you jump into Space Engineers 1 now, you're going to be diving for the first Splitsy tutorial, basically.
Yes.
That's it. Like there's like a bag at the side. It's just got written on the, you know, Splitsy tutorial. Start here. You know, they jump in there. They come out fully trained after his boot camp. And then they can start Space Engineers, because it's an advanced game. I mean, to do the things that you're doing, to build a rover like that, you need to understand certain elements. If you forget a gyroscope, for instance, the rover's going to go on its side. You know, you need to work out if you don't have the right clearance from the ground, that the rover will bottom out. So there's loads of settings, especially with wheel settings on just this rover. Now imagine that over hundreds and hundreds of blocks. It's an advanced game to get into, and it's so rewarding. The other thing that I don't think we think about, Joel, is like when we started this game, there was only a few blocks, so we've learned progressively over time.
Yeah,
so
it's so
easy.
True. And
yeah,
I'm still bad.
yeah. So it's more difficult for new players, and ideally with Space Engineers 2, we want and welcome them new players, and we want them to stick around and get involved. And by making that introduction easier and more fun, and that'll challenge them with the backpack building there as well. So, you know, keep your eyes on it, because it's going to be an exciting new experience, and hopefully, you know, lock on to them new players who are interested in this sort of building game.
Yeah, I don't mind my driving. You can join the server there, Aaron. I sent you the details if you want to jump on.
Yeah, I have to. I was just making sure I was keeping an eye on the chat though as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Because I know if I get stuck in game, then I neglect the chat, because I start playing and then we start having a laugh.
Like me, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. Let me move.
But and I'm supposed to be a professional streamer, but yeah, even I still struggle with multitasking. It's part. I blame that for the reason I'm so bad at the game. Like, I feels like I haven't played the game in like years, simply with the fact that like I'm like, you know, I'm talking, I'm seeing what's going on, I'm trying to balance, but like I can't remember. Like, I mean, I do play the game. You know, I've streamed the game like 6,000 hours or whatever, right? So I have, but what I mean by that is like when I do play tests, right? I do play tests, and before an update, I'm checking out new stuff, but I don't even remember the last time, you know, some people messaged me and was like, let's just play Space Engineers. No stream, no videos, just play the game.
Well,
no distractions, should I say.
I think we should go on tour.
On tour?
We should go on tour. We should message some of our, you know, favorite content creators and pop in to whatever survival they're doing and join them for an episode.
Yeah.
You know, that would definitely get you back on your feet, you know.
Yeah.
Join them for an episode. And then Joel's there like, oh, how do I use the build planner? And you're like, oh.
I know.
That's what it feels like sometimes. Sometimes I catch myself, since I used to build without the build planner, I've said this before, is I'm like, I'm not using it, and people are like, oh, you know, you could do it really easily. Just add the blocks. That's me going back and forth.
I'm okay with build planner, but like there's other systems in the game that I'm just sloppy at, I'll be honest. Build planner I'm actually not too bad at, but oh, look at these vehicles here from out. Look, you got to watch out, Aaron. We got Alzumi in the game now, and we spent like 40 minutes looking at one of Alzumi's ships last time, but luckily these are smaller vehicles. But I'm not sure if you're seeing these on stream, Aaron.
I'm
but
seeing
in the
them.
Game,
They've just popped up now.
Yeah, look at these.
Oh, look at that. That is a nice truck, isn't it? You know what I've seen? I've seen quite a lot of these survival trucks. Where has it got an interior? I bet it's got if it's an Alzumi, of course it's got an interior, hasn't it?
It's actually not too big. It's actually more like it's got a lot of cargo. It has got. Look at this cab. You come inside here. You got a very nice cab. You got a driver, co-driver. You got behind. You got a little bunk. They're watching some anime or something going on here. But like this feels like like a cab. You have like the front seats, and then behind the back you have like where you can like sleep and rest up and stuff. But this again is just a really cozy interior. But yeah,
it shows what you can do as well with some of these interior blocks, because I always say this. I feel like I'm some old guy, but there wasn't all these nice pretty interior blocks before, but now people can put them in all sorts of different angles. Like I believe that block up at the top there is an upside down sort of.
Hold on, I'll go back inside. Hold on.
In the bedroom, it's like an upside down control panel above the bed.
Yeah. They're here. They've got here.
Yeah. It's magnificent, isn't it? Really, it's just.
And using it as
detail going on.
So again, using it as like a TV here. It's the same one. Well, it's a different one. Sorry, but it's part of that console pack. But it looks great, and the fact it's kind of in this position, it's like slightly angled down, so you can be lying in bed, looking up and watching. So, yeah, no, this is fantastic detail here.
Yeah, some artwork as well. Yeah, it's lovely. Let's continue looking around.
So I'm looking at
when they jump in and put things in. It's crazy, isn't it?
I'm looking at some mechs now. These mechs are by I think from Falcon here. Let me just double check. Yeah, by Falcon. We got a couple of mechs. Look at this scrambling around, this spider mech here. This is nuts. Can't even keep up with it. Look. I'm running. I'm trying. Oh,
look at that. Did it just stand up then?
I think it can kind of crouch down and you can get onto it, and then it can kind of raise
funny,
up.
Though, like some of them, like the way they walk is just mental. Yeah, it's crazy, that, isn't it? That's lovely. I noticed. I just saw someone in the chat as well saying it'd be really nice to make the welder make more sense in Space Engineers 1. And I think we've touched on this before, haven't we? About that, you hit a button and it welds. There's no gas. There's no wire involved.
Yeah.
It's just, well, I guess you've got to keep some things simplistic, can't you? For the purpose of gameplay. I mean, the grinder works quite realistically, I guess you could say. But,
some of it's got to be Some of it's got to be kind of that balance between realism and then just gameplay here. People are pasting stuff in. Wow. Madness is already going down.
Because we've seen mechs for years, but these are incredible, aren't they? Just how much they wiggle.
I think a big part of it is the Mech Builders Club, guys. There is a whole community, if you didn't know about it, dedicated to mech builders, and they have a pretty big community now. And this is veteran mech builders. This is new starting out mech builders. But if you join this, you will quite quickly become a pro, I think. And
yeah, because I'll say, like, as someone who's had a go at building mechs in the past, there's like a connection between your brain and working out how to move the rotors. Like, becoming part of the the mech builders is like, some of the questions are answered for you. You'll be able to have a look how they set the legs up and understand like how you could get your mech walking and maneuvering across the terrain, rather than just sitting there boggling over which rotor to name this and which one to name that.
Yeah, no, exactly. No, they're kind of, I've seen where they've released like a template almost. I don't know what's going on with my performance right now.
It could be to do with the giant mech.
It could be, but this one, I don't know. Let me just double check. I think. Okay.
Or is it because something large has been spawned in? Perhaps.
I'm gonna go down to 1080p. I'm not at 1080 right now. See if that helps.
Yeah, I always find as well, if you turn the grass off, you can milk it for even more.
Yeah. It's very strange, actually. I was saying recently on one of my streams that performance has actually been better recently for me. I don't know. It feels like there's. It feels like there's maybe one grid in this that's causing some issues, but I'm not sure.
There must be. The amount of hinges and rotors that I'm seeing, I can smell the clang
going on
through the screen.
I'm actually really confused here. I'm not sure if we have.
another comment popped up while you're working this out as well. Have you seen the chap who's motion captured himself?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, it's incredible, that, isn't it? Wow. That's mad, like getting a mech to move, and he's doing backflips, he's riding a quad bike on it, like, fascinating stuff.
There was someone who did it via like Xbox Connect, and there was another one, I think, where the guy was wearing like sensors. I'm really confused.
I know. I've seen the Xbox Connect one. I saw the guy where he wired up the Xbox Connect and he waved his arms and it synced with the actual mech on screen and stuff.
Yeah.
I've not seen the sensor.
There was a couple of different builders doing it. Maybe this? I'm trying to just right now track down what's... Let me try, is it this?
Have you got the F1 menu up? Have you seen if anyone's... well, probably there's a lot of people pushing the F1.
No, like something... I think this might need a restart, guys, because there's something very strange going on. There's not that much in the world. Let me delete the mech. And maybe it is. Maybe there's some script running on this Falcon. I don't know, though. Okay, it was the mech. It was mainly the mech. Damn. But yeah, that one mech was causing a lot of trouble, actually. Like, it's like... It's fine now. Interesting. And apparently, maybe it's my side. I've been talking about needing a new PC for a while because Black Sheep says the Sim's fine. So I think it was like client-side issues. I've been really... I don't know what your PC is like, Aaron, but I've been talking about going up to one of these new AMD like 9800X 3Ds or something like that. Because I am having issues. I mean, specifically, I think it's often when I'm streaming. If I'm streaming and... playing the game, I have issues.
I think you need a totally different rig really for that, don't you? You need something a lot more powerful. Like my desktop is like 10 years old now, and it still plays Space Engineers absolutely fine. But if I start doing more complex tasks, then it struggles. Like at the moment, I've been playing on this laptop, and the laptop's doing really well. So yeah, I think if you're having some issues, maybe it looks like it's been new PC time.
Yeah. Because a couple of people in the chat said that the FPS and sim was fine on their ends. That's really weird, guys. I'm running... And the thing is, I'm not seeing, like, I wasn't seeing, like, excessive usage or anything like that. So it's a bit suspicious. I've had the suspicions for a while, Aaron, but I've never been able to tie it down. But... Okay, I guess I'll try... back to my... It's good to know, because I should... Just for the record, so just in case anyone, is thinking, oh, this game looks like laggy. Well, it's just me. Everyone else in the server was running just fine, so I should have like the NASA PC when I'm presenting the game,
I guess it could be because you're streaming though as well.
No, but I don't know. It's specifically this piece. I don't know, dude. I feel like I never used to have quite as issues, but I've been complaining about it for a while actually. But I've never been able to tie it down. So maybe it's like a reinstall or something. But I'm just kind of waiting to get a new PC, honestly, at this rate. But anyway, there's some very cool stuff going by here. Who's this here? Another Alzumi build here. But let me see. I've given the password to chat. We've got 11 people in right now. So let's have a look at what we'll do is, guys, so people can paste this stuff in. Let's look at stuff and then delete the stuff, all right? So let's we're looking here at this. These are some more vehicles by Alzumi, actually. Alzumi's got in nice and early here. And I'm just showing for Aaron here, we have this collection. The front is the same, and then they have like a different back. They have like an AA edition. They have like a cargo version. So yeah, very nice kind of collection. I always like
a series of vehicles or ships or whatever is always nice. I like the idea of the same, because it's a realistic thing, isn't it? They take the same chassis or the same vehicle and they reproduce, multiple different models with it. So it's quite realistic. It allows you to reuse the same design. And who doesn't like an AA truck? That's like, it's a proper Command and Conquer technical.
Oh, it's so true. Now, I've been doing some... I'm not sure if anyone else in the chat has seen this. I've been doing some Dakar rallies recently on the weekends. And Alzumi won the first race we did. And it looks like they might be prepping another version here. Like, this is... So basically, Aaron, this is like... we do like these 90-kilometer races. And they take like an hour and a half.
I thought you were talking real life then. And
oh, no,
wow,
I wish.
That sounds amazing. Tell me more. But then I was like, we're in game. Okay.
We're talking in game, but the race takes about, it was like taking like an hour and a half to complete at some points. But you have to basically be able to survive this very tough terrain. And it seems like Alzumi's been cooking specifically for that. Like, if you're seeing in here, it has like self-righting arms if you get flipped over. So I can see they've got a couple of different versions here. Solar powered. I mean, again, I think he's built them for these races that we've been doing. But
I like the spare tire.
In general, they just look.
Connector.
Oh yeah, even that, like a recharging thing here. They've just built some very nice trucks here. So cool. Let's have a look what else we've got. I'm going to come up here to see this massive station pasted in, and then we can get some other builds in, okay, guys? So once we clear out what we've already looked at, I'm trying to speed run this. Aaron's going to be on me, saying, Joel, hurry up. No stopping.
No, take your time. Enjoy, because I love enjoying the creations. It's really nice. It's interesting that we got a lot of rovers this time, though, as well, isn't we? We got a big station as well, but a lot of little rovers.
I always love rovers. This is one I like rovers and I like drop ships,
It's funny, isn't it? Because at one point rovers were like at the pioneer, like when wheels were introduced, and the team were trying to nail down how to get suspension and wheels to work right. And at one point the wheels were too slidey, and then all of a sudden it clicked and they got the right amount of grip, and the players could adjust the wheels, and it was like, yes, this is revolutionary. Now we can have loads of rovers around. So wow, wasn't it? Come on.
Oh, and I'll just say one thing. Rovers in SE2, Aaron. How about that? How about that for a thought? Are we ready for that?
I am ready for that. Yeah, I think I'm ready for it all. It's one of them, and I think I'm the same with the community. I just want it all now, and then that's the thing. We've got to be a bit more patient and wait.
I think there's a song for that, Aaron.
All.
Yeah.
I think you might be right. But yeah, I just want the features. I want to be able to play with water. I want to be able to drive my rover. I want to be able to build a rover that can then flip its wheels up and become a boat, that then can, become a submarine. I don't know, do the old James Bond build. There's so many things I want to try. And I mean, I've been experimenting a little bit behind the scenes, but we're still patiently waiting, for when everyone else can do it.
I've spoken about this a few times, and that will always be. I don't know how long it will be until I can live this. Well, probably not that long internally. I mean, you guys might have to wait a bit longer, but basically the dream that is, you guys let me know if you've heard this story. I've said it at least 4 or 5 times, but maybe more. The idea is you're in SE2, you're in like an underwater base, you've got like a big glass window, you can look out and you see all the creatures out there and stuff. And then you kind of, you're getting suited up, and you're going into the big hangar doors open, and you go into like your moon pool room. You follow me, Aaron, here. And
I'm following you.
And you jump inside this kind of craft, very strange looking craft. You jump in, you descend from the moon pool out into the deep, and you're kind of going through like the kind of the fields of kelp almost, and then you kind of come out. Yeah. You start rising up. You get to the top. It's like, and like all this stuff like starts folding out. And
what was that noise? Sounds like you're making a mixtape. You pull out the water and you're DJing now.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
So all this stuff starts like, folding out, and then it like gets to the surface and just like launches out of the water, flies into atmosphere, and then like boosters engage. It just thrusts straight up into the kind of the lower atmosphere. And then before bursting out into space, and then there's an asteroid field, and there's I don't know. This is it. Like basically just launching from underwater out into space. That's my dream.
Yeah, it's an interest. But I think I'm dreaming more about like launching like a torpedo from underwater.
Okay.
It launches up, using its water thrusters, and then the hydrogen thruster kicks in, and then it boosts up, takes out its target or something, while you're down below the water. And then the other thing that I think would be really interesting is developing weapons that can kill things in the water. So like they have depth charges and stuff, and like what will people do to get underwater bases? I mean, will people be trying to drain things as well, dumping water on people? Will there be giant water balloon bombs where people drop like a massive reserve tank of water on your base and flood you out? I don't know. It's gonna be mental.
That is true. The water people are already saying about like just imagine just living peacefully down the valley, and then someone upstream like floods your base and stuff. Like
I can already see the pranks though. Like you could have a group of guys or whatnot, and you go in one room, and next minute you open a door and it's just filled with water, and you get flushed out into the corridor. Like there's gonna be some great prank ideas with all this kit as well.
I would love to hear your ideas, guys. Based on what you know about SC2 so far, right? Maybe there's some things that's kind of more speculation at this stage, but given water, survival, planets, human NPCs, all this stuff, like, do you have some like dream scenario that you're like you're kind of waiting to live out? If it's only a matter of time. Harmless pranks drowns friends.
Yeah, because the other things that you could use water for is, I mean, have you ever heard about the pyramids? How they have like a central water shaft to raise things up and down.
Yeah.
Like, you could use water. You could flood a chamber to lift a chamber up into the air, or like there's so many different things you could do. And especially if you get smart about it, you could force water into some areas and increase the buoyancy, decrease the buoyancy, and build a submarine. Technically, you could have ballast tanks that you could fill so your submarine would dive. I mean, of course, you could probably just dive it with thrust and whatnot, but it'll be interesting as well to see like how it'll affect if you try and push a volume down underneath the water. How will the buoyancy actively push up against it? So yeah, there's a lot of factors, and you can tell I'm really excited about water and seeing how water's going to work more than anything.
Well, Forskin's got something chill. Forskin's just looking forward to a relaxing beach house. There you go. So some people have like these, like a more humble, I think, dreams, and others have grand dreams of expansion ruling over the SE universe. Yeah. So anyway, just carry on with the a little bit more of the showcase here. So we've got this amazing station. Looks like it was built by Jonathan Wackamus, I think. It's very nice. Now, let me just see. I'm trying to get up to the upper. I was trying to see if I can get inside this upper section here, but I just will delete the blocks. But I think it's not being completed yet, potentially.
Work in progress one. It looks quite nice though. This would be good in a water world, wouldn't it? Or just above the water.
Oh
perhaps.
yeah, like imagine this, like this kind of dome but underwater, and you would look out here. So I think
it's funny we're doing a Space Engineers 1 showcase, but we're talking like excited about Space Engineers 2. I mean,
I know it's allowed. It's not a crime.
Yeah.
But we're also excited for SE1. I mean, farming is going to be awesome, and who knows what the environmental hazards will bring. So
yeah, they're going to have the tractors out. I know that's the first thing I'm going to do is build a tractor, a big red tractor.
I love it. You got Umbalol saying, "Can't wait to dump the entire ocean onto Zog's base in the first survival." There you go. I know there will be. Yeah, I know. I'm sure. So I'll delete this and we'll continue here and have a look at what's next to check out, and we'll then open up the paste in for some more. We've got quite a lot. We've got 18 players in the server now, so we'll see if we can get some more stuff ongoing. So let's have
I mean, going off on a wild one here. I mean, with the water, I mean, it'd be cool as if you could use the water in the same way of like a flammable liquid and light some fire, and then the water, like a fuel of some kind, and it spreads across. That would be quite crazy. This is just me going off on one, guys. I do apologize. It was just an interesting idea.
Yeah, I mean, I think people do recognize a lot of the stuff that we're talking about is even like I want to say fan fiction, but a lot of it is like our own dreams. But I think we obviously we do know a lot of what's coming, and while some of this stuff even for ourselves is kind of like I don't know how to word it, like
I think like the big thing to say here is like for me and Joel, this is like our dream game. So when we get together and we start talking about it, we start just fantasizing about it, and to some way, I think we should always come with the disclaimer, like you said, is like sometimes we deliver your facts, but sometimes we also deliver our fantasies of what this game could be like, just like you guys out there as well.
Exactly. We have the dreams. We have the dreams.
Big dreams.
Let's see. Let's have a look then. Yeah, this is a homeworld ship here. But sorry, the point I was going to make is luckily I think a lot of the community, they don't just like quote us and say, "Oh, look what Aaron and Joel are saying."
Sometimes they do. Sometimes they do. It's like it depends how speculation feeling they find in.
I think we can make it sound more official, can't we?
He blinked 3 times and looked up in the air. That means he confirmed that feature. It depends how much they read into it. Because sometimes I know when they really want something, they read into everything we say. But like this is the message that I'm always saying is like I'll tell you if it's a fact, and I'll tell you if we're just having a good bit of a fantasize.
Let's have a look. Yeah, we try and point it out. This is a beautiful homeworld ship. Look at this nice hangar here. We've got a smaller
Blue and
craft as
yellow.
well.
Very ultramarine.
Let's see. Do we have any homeworld fans in the chat? Give me a little wave. Got an asymmetrical ship here as well. Let's jump in.
Oh, so some people can't handle an asymmetrical ship, you know. Like
how are you, Aaron? How's your asymmetrical skills?
I like it, and you know what? A lot of my asymmetrical ships end up being asymmetrical because I forget to turn symmetry on. So then
accidental symmetry. Asymmetrical.
I just roll with it, and then you end up going, you know, it was like a happy accident thing.
A happy, yeah.
Is it a happy accident?
Happy accident, yeah. This is very nice. This is by Black Sheep here. I'm going to take this out for a spin. Don't mind if I do.
Ooh.
I just think it's crazy. If you think about let's say 5 years ago, people were building small ships that had interiors, but they were like either using mods or they were using all kind of shenanigans or whatever it would be. But I think that's probably one of the biggest changes to SE1 in recent years has been the level of detail on small grids, both outside and inside. I mean, it's the same for large grids too, right? Because we have all these new blocks, and we think about the lab blocks. So I guess it's the case for both. Honestly, there's just so much more detail, but it's just the fact that it was very difficult to have any kind of interior on interior ships, but now you can do that. And look at this.
Yeah, the small ships have come a long way, and I think another big factor of it is that you can now have a jump drive for a small grid as well.
That's massive.
So it means the practicality of that grid can be increased, and the more reasons that you give someone to use the smaller grids, the better, because then they'll go into the detailing, they'll go into the interior, and in a lot of cases you can solve some big ship issues with a small ship now, and I think that's really nice because a small ship is usually covered with detail.
Yeah, I guess I never expected. Like, I knew there was things planned. I never would have expected us to add a small grid jump drive, to be honest. I just thought that this, even though it's endgame, which is, you know, makes it a little bit different, just from the fact that it was always this thing that, like, you know, large grids are like the long distance stuff. Small grids are more like, you know, the kind of like, you know, shuttles and stuff like this. But I think that kind of evolved as people started to build like bigger small ships. It's like, why wouldn't this be able to? You know, because people are building small grids that are probably as big, not quite, but nearly as large as a grid that a large grid that's like the same size, if that makes sense.
Well, see, what I'll also say about that is I think the team took a lot of feedback from actual PvP scenarios, and a lot of players would jump in with their large carrier holding all their ships, and the first thing that the opponent would do is they'd aim straight to the carrier and try and blow it up, and before that players even managed to get any of their ships off, you know, it's destroyed and in ruins, where now you can park your carrier just outside jump drive range and, you know, ferry ships in as need be. So it definitely helps with the PvP scenarios as well. You could even have a larger small grid ferrying other small grids in and then jumping back rather than having to risk it all with that big grid. But there's so many options, and you can do pretty much anything you want in Space Engineers. So there's no limitation, and I like the idea as well of having a big ship jumping in your small ships, but it's just a bit annoying when your carrier gets destroyed or attacked when you're not there to defend it.
Oh man,
that was some good parking, that though, Joel. You got.
I know. Didn't even have an accident. I'm pretty proud of that. Yeah. No. Someone was telling me to fly into the support. Oh yeah, I guess I could.
Yeah, you know what? I thought that too.
All right, I'll do it. I didn't know what people are talking about, but then I see it, and I think I need to turn on damage. But let's do it. It'll be fun.
That's one of them bad thoughts, isn't it? You know, that you shouldn't have, but you do have it anyway. It's like sometimes when you're flying around the server and you see people's whole bases held up by scaffolding, you're just like, oh, should I snip that off and watch this base roll down the hill?
Oh, man. I know you've done your fair share of trolling over the years, Mr. Aaron.
Oh, yeah, you know what? Like, there's different sorts of trolling. There's mean trolling, and then there's creative trolling. Like one of my favourite sort of trolling things is, you know, you pretend to have a water leak and you just start spraying ice out of a hole until they plug it. Like that's always good fun. And then there's stuff like, you know, trying to sneak in and steal ships, and that's always quite fun. It's always, if you're going to do some trolling, it's got to be funny and it's got to be non-destructive. As soon as you start destroying stuff, then you kind of, you know, be just being mean.
Well, I just failed big time I don't know how I managed it. It's what happens when you start like bragging about how good your driving skills are. But I will use another craft. But in the meantime, let's look at this. This looks awesome. Like this looks like a futuristic little bird helicopter. This is a build by Falcon again. And look at you'll take you a second to catch up here, Aaron. But when you approach it, the kind of cockpit opens up. You ride it like a quad bike almost, right? I'll let you see this here, but this is awesome. This will be a perfect option for crashing into the... Oh, no, I think they already moved it.
Wow, oh, the cockpit opening and closing is really cool, isn't it?
And you wouldn't think, you look at it, and it's like fully sealed, and I'm riding it, you know, like this.
I like that a lot.
And if I just stop and jump out, that's very satisfying.
It's got some cheeky rail guns on either arm as well.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
It looks very futuristic, doesn't it, like you said?
But from a distance, I was thinking like just the little wings. I was thinking, oh, it's like I'm kind of getting like a sci-fi little bird vibe, but it's something else than that. Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of crossed over with the it feels like a mini version of one of them helicopters from June without the flappings. I feel like the cockpit yeah, like the way the cockpit opens has like that sort of sci-fi vibe to it.
Or the cockpit also reminds me a little bit of Oblivion, I think it is. Is it with Tom Cruise? He has like the helicopter thing in that. It's got like a glass front. I can't remember exactly. Ooh.
Are we gonna actually hit it this time? Are we gonna try railgunning it, or what's your strat here?
Well, it's been already dealt with, Aaron.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, you'll see what I mean in just a second.
Of course.
The problem is, I tell you, part of the reason that I have issues is because I'm always trying to, like, get some cool shots, if that makes sense, you know?
Yeah, I'm guilty of that too. I'm guilty of that. Sometimes you just fly straight into something because you're looking back at yourself, aren't you? It's like flying with a selfie stick.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, whoa, look at me, and I'm not looking where I'm going.
Oh, it looks like a waffle on the side of the hill, doesn't it?
Yeah, this planet is a weird one. I think it might be the... Let me just double check. I actually don't know.
I don't know. It's making me a bit hungry, to be honest. Looking at that.
It's bigger than usual. I think this planet is like I don't know what the size of it, but it's much bigger than usual planets that's pasted in here. So there is a few oddities that appear. So let's open up the building and let's see what you guys get in. I'll turn off damage again. Right. Let me see, guys. What have you got for us? Go, paste. Oh, what is this? Like a battle bus here. Holy moly.
Battle bus. Oh, yes.
Are you in the game, Aaron? Are you focusing?
No, I'm not. I'm just focusing on reading the chat. I can come in.
At least someone's reading the chat.
It'll be at the mercy of me not seeing what everyone's writing. That I think is a bit unfair.
That's okay.
Yeah, Stonelord says it's a super-sized planet.
That's what I thought. So there is some strange things that can happen. Well, that didn't take long. I turned on building and holy moly, the world filled up again. Right, a couple more seconds, guys, and I'm turning it off.
Oh, yeah, so this is a turret modeled after the Millennium Falcon. This one.
Oh, let me just go back to that. Hold on. I was just... Oh, right. It seems like a lot of stuff was pasted in. Oh, helicopter.
Helicopter.
I can just hear that meme. Do you know that meme song, Aaron?
Yeah.
That's what was in my head as well.
That's what I was gonna do, but then I just kind of paused and I was like,
yeah,
I'm not gonna put people at the mercy of that.
Oh,
I like a good helicopter though. Look at that. That's tasty. That. What is it? What sort of helicopter is it?
It's some kind of like futuristic. It's got like no glass cockpit, if that makes sense. Whoa. I'm making some cinematic here.
Yeah, this is like this. Oh yeah, it's quite a cool looking helicopter, isn't it?
I believe that's another one of John Wack's favorites.
Oh, look at that! That is a cinematic. I've just seen it fly behind some rovers doing some turtling.
Yeah. Ah! Sorry, that was the
you
shocking.
All right there?
So I know Aaron always sees us behind. I just got rammed.
Oh,
right.
All right.
Let's see if we can tie this up then. So what was this? Someone, you say this was from the Millennium Falcon from Trios?
Well, that's what someone's just put in. There's someone put in the.
From at the bottom? I'm just trying to understand what they mean by that. Oh, I see, because if... Okay, something's being pasted in, I think. All the servers crashing. Something's happening. I thought I turned...
Oh my goodness, someone's cannon is having a bit of a chaotic moment as well there. Did you see that?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I'm just curious. Is this just me, guys? Or is everyone else frozen? I think I know what you're going to talk about, actually, Trios. When I jump on that and look through it, it's going to... The view looking down is going to be like the Millennium Falcon. I think I know it. Just me? Yeah, my PC's cursed. Absolutely cursed. I'm telling you, like, everyone else is out there having fun. And I have to, like...
You're suffering the consequences of their fun.
I've closed the game and it's still... Man. Sorry, guys. I'll get a new PC eventually. But the worst thing is, Aaron, it's not even that old. It's like 3 years old, maybe. It's
you do like to cook them with all the streaming, though, don't you?
I wonder, to be honest.
You need some sort of water-cooled deep sea PC that's just constantly cooled by like -5. Oh, maybe one of them.
Volumetric water cooled.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Ice cooled.
Let's try that again.
Let's see if we can get it up and running.
Okay.
What's the favourite creation you've seen then so far tonight?
Today? I couldn't say. Very difficult.
To be honest, I was really impressed with the mech. The rovers have been great. The interior of that ship was beautiful. The large sort of station was beautiful as well. That helicopter, you know what? You sold the helicopter because of the tasty cinematic you did when that was flying around. Like, if it was just flying around, then I wouldn't have been as much drawn to it. But that cinematic with the rovers spawning in and whatnot in front of us looked like, yeah.
Good stuff.
You guys built some beautiful creations, and it's so nice that you're sharing them with us.
I mean, Numb Charlie's saying my 3-year-old PC struggles with SEOBS too. Yeah, no, I've just heard though the solution to this is using one of these new AMD PCs. This 9800 XD 3D or something.
I see where this is going.
Exactly. There's going to be emailing Marek saying, Marek, please, sir, I need,
Give me all the power.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I know on some of these winter nights, like you need that PC to keep the room warm as well. Keep them the power bills low.
Oh, mine definitely has kept me warm in winter. No, this PC does. I mean, it doesn't get that hot, but it definitely, stays. Do you find this, Aaron, that you've probably gone through some PCs over the years? Do you find that like you have a PC that was just like the best PC ever? Like eventually you had to replace it, but in general, like it just ran super well. There was no crashes. Everything was good on it. Eventually, you just kind of slow down, then you have to replace it. But then you have like another PC that was just like non-stop issues, if that makes not non-stop, but like a lot more unstable, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'll say something though. I had this PC that was really good, and then it slowed down all of a sudden, and then I went and dusted it, and it was back to as good as before. It was just because it picked up a load of dust.
Oh, really?
Like like I think that a lot of people talk about this is like, if you go in and give your PC a proper clean. And do it safely, of course, then some people do. I don't know if it's like a placebo effect or it actually is, but giving your PC a good clean, especially if it's been in a dusty space, can give a bit more life to it. Also, like maybe just doing a fresh reinstall sometimes.
Yeah,
I've done that before. Just gone, right, wipe everything, fresh reinstall, stick things on an old drive. Because sometimes the drives just slow down as well, and then you think your computer's going slow, but you're just not getting the data, that you need to play. So
you're supposed to do that you're supposed to, people, I know, I'm not sure what the experts say, every 2 years or whatever, but I always like hate having to do a PC reset, because there's always some things you got to like reactivate. I don't know, like it's never that easy.
I think from a PC side of things is like, if you build a good PC, you can really enjoy Space Engineers. But with everything, it's just use over time. The more you use it, the more the components end up being used up. And It's just the life, innit? Everything gets old, everything gets used up.
Yeah.
Even the real things in the mechanical world, you know, if you use and abuse your car hard, then it's not going to last as long. And a lot of these modern games now, they really use the computer. Like,
it's the thing, isn't it? Like, I mean, sometimes they, like, when it comes to a graphics card or whatever, like, even something is like reapplying thermal paste. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's
reapplying
really
thermal paste can do it. Like, you'd think that, like, because I think that GPUs, they can get like tired, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know what rate. Like, I think it's quite slow, but I'm pretty sure, like, you get a brand new GPU and then, like, you know, 4 years later, like, it won't be running. I mean, I always think it's, I don't know, like, I don't know, this kind of degradation, I don't know, like, how big of a deal it is, but I guess it happens.
Yeah, because there's lots of things like that. There's also like graphics card lottery, isn't there, where some cards are just better.
Yeah.
Like, and you know, or they've been downclocked, you know, to that spec when really, you know, they can do a lot better. So you sometimes look at the draw and the components that you end up putting together. Especially if you're building your own, sometimes you can have a great idea for a build and you slap it all together and it's just not quite there. Like, I've kept my PCs going for a long time just by adding a new graphics card. And that usually gives them a boost. Like, I think my computer's on its third graphics card now, where the actual hardware, I think, because the last thing I put in it was a 1080 Ti, and that's brought it to today. But now that's a relatively old card, I think now. Yes. So yeah, you can, with Space Engineers 1, you can get away with some older tech, definitely. But you've also got, I think, is, you know, what sort of performance do you want it on? I have all the grass and some of the stuff off as well, so it's just smoother, and it's also a bit cheatsy, isn't it, having the grass off, and you can see things and shoot them a bit more accurately.
So you normally run grass off? That's funny.
Oh yeah, grass off, because it's like there's the amount of times when someone's trying to shoot you through a bush or a bump or
Sounds
something.
like that's from the Armour days or something, Aaron, you know? I don't know.
No, it's from War Thunder days. It's from the War Thunder days. Like, when you're playing lots of War Thunder, you just turn the grass off. And like sometimes, like, the grass accidentally comes back on and you're like, God, it looks really good, Space Engineers. What have you done?
Yeah.
And then you're like, that's why, because I was used to everything looking like Play-Doh because I changed the setting.
I'll ask the chat, though, in the meantime. How many years have you had your current setup, guys? Let's see. Well, I'm not sure if you're seeing this, Aaron, but we've got all kinds of builds here.
Yeah, this is exactly what I'd expect as well. And this is one of the most difficult things about PCs is, you know, doing all the testing. Like with Space Engineers 2, is there's so much different hardware, and there's so many different combinations. But on top of this hardware, there's also like your monitor configuration as well that plays a big part. Because I know people have said like, oh, I've got 2 extra wide super monitors that are like curved and all these things, and then we need to, you know, have an example of that to test that out on. So it can get quite expensive when it comes to testing all these different components and getting them to work.
Yeah. The same what people have got here. 4 years, 3 years, 2 months. Yeah. Forbidden UK must have a banging setup. 10 years. Yeah, 10 years. There you
go. That's where my old PC is getting to. I think it's definitely getting for 10 years now. I could be a bit younger than that, maybe not quite 10, but yeah,
you always get attached to it. Like when you have this, like for me right now, I don't want to upgrade because I'm thinking like, come on, is this a good PC? I didn't buy it that long ago. Like even though time has flown, but you get like, I don't know, like you remember spending a lot of money on it, and it's like, oh come on, I've got to spend more money again. I don't know. No, I think there's. Yeah.
I think it's smiles per mile, isn't it? Really, that's what they say. Like, if you put the money into a good PC, especially if you learn the skills and how to put your PC together, that is very doable now these days. You learn a skill set. God, it sounds like some dad advice, this, doesn't it?
Oh shoot!
But yeah, you learn a skill set, put your PC together. You can sort it out, and then in the future you also know what's in there and how it's going to go together. So learning to build a PC is a great set of skills to have.
Yeah, I think my greatest system that lasts me a long time, or maybe some of you guys have got it still, I don't know. I had the Intel i7 40, is that right? 4770K.
Oh, you know what? That sounds like what's in my computer
right now, yeah. And I had the RTX 780. That thing was banging for quite a while. And then I went to a 1080 Ti, which also was banging. 1080 Ti was a great freaking card.
Yeah, and you know what I think? The other thing is running it in 4K resolution. Like if you do make the trip over to 4K, then you're putting more stress on all your hardware as well. Like if I just took off this 4K screen and put a normal screen on, I'd have so much better performance. But you just get used to having a big tasty screen, don't you then?
Well, the funny thing is that I was making 4K Space Engineers videos with that 780. Like honestly, I've been making 4K Space Engineers videos for 10 years, guys. The Planets trailer for Space... Not quite 10 years, that's a lie, I guess. Whatever Planets was, 2015. So, oh god, yeah, no, it has. So I was thinking, Planets weren't 10 years ago, but no, the game is in its 12th year now. So, actually, yes, no. 10 years ago, the Planets trailer was the first one we did, I think, in 4K. And ever since then, every single Space Engineers trailer has been in 10K, and 10K, 4K. And I think... shortly after we upgraded to the 1080 Ti, and that made a big difference. But yeah, no, it was tough. Marek's a big fan of 4K.
Because it went from that point, then cards got really hot, didn't they? They were really hard to get your hands on a good card, and the prices shot up, and then there was a chip shortage and all sorts of things, all playing into. And like I think a lot of people just skipped buying a new PC then for a while because we couldn't get what we wanted. But yeah, if you are building yourself or buying yourself a new PC, then sometimes it's nice to have a bit of a target. Like, you know, if I was building up Space Engineers 2, I'd probably wait, you know, a little longer and then plan out my build around it. Especially when water and stuff comes in, because I mean we've got the tech specs, we've got the recommended settings up there, and you can get some really great results if you're running things like that. And some of the older systems as well are also hacking it, but one of the most common things we do get is in the support emails is people trying to run it on potatoes. If I recommend get to the minimum specs that we've got listed there, guys, before you pick it up, or else you are just going to have some issues.
Yeah, that's... I mean, I think the requirements are probably pretty good. Even SE2, I think people are getting through it on lower performance. But here we go then. So I'm in this thing now. So this was the... Oh, I'm being attacked. But this was the... Millennium Falcon turret. I can kind of see it. Like, I can kind of see this now, you know? I'm turning the whole grid. I think I'm not, or am I being? I don't know. Maybe I'm not. I think I'm being turned by someone outside, but it's a pretty cool view actually. Like, I'm like on the inside, and I can turn my entire, like the seat that the flight seat that I'm in is turning as well. So I'm controlling the turret, but not just like on the outside. Like it's on like a whole. This is nuts actually, because normally you'd have just a seat, you'd be looking out, and then you would control it, you know. But this is actually pretty cool that I can.
It's a nice idea, isn't it? I like that.
Just like the real thing here. Look at that. That's very cool. Nice job, Trios.
It just needs a bit. It just needs a bigger glass piece of window, doesn't it? Really.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess because it's small grid, and it's very hard to do that on small grid. Not on SE2, but yeah.
I'm just trying to work out if the crosses are some sort of aiming reticle, or they were just.
No, I mean I think. Let me see. No, because it was... Oh, I see what you mean, because it's actually got glass, but it's also covered in the grid as well. Yeah, maybe, but I don't think so. Yeah, very cool. So I'm trying to get through this, Aaron, but as you can see, there's this infinite things being pasted in.
Yeah, well, this is part of it, though. It's just part of the experience. It's part of exploring and seeing what the team and the community are building. Oh, just double check, make sure all these messages are coming through. Yeah, the PC chat has definitely got a few people curious, sharing out their specs of what they've been building and, you know, what they've been running. This is obviously the classic comment: if you can play Star Citizen, you can play Space Engineers too. I can imagine that said in like a very dad tone.
Let's see. Let's have a look. I haven't actually been able to like. Go ahead, Aaron.
I was just going to say, what other interesting creations we got here? Because I've seen this little rover with the wheels. It's like a raised up off the ground as well. It looks like a kind of a turret thing. The green one.
Yeah. I was going to get to that. Yeah, I'm in some kind of. Right now, I'm inside some. I think a modular base here. Ooh, let's have a look. Yeah, this is like a modular base set almost. Probably different rooms with different functionality here. Let's have a look. And then I'll check this.
Very nice.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is like a crew quarter module here. You can come down here. There's like private rooms. This is here like oh, this is nice. Nice open room with seats and everything. And this is made by, I didn't get all the names today. This is made by Mad Dog. Yeah, so very nice kind of modular base set by Mad Dog. Very cool. These showcase of rapid fire. So this platform that you were talking about, I think, Aaron, it's being dragged away right now. This is by Falcon. And it looks like it can basically, it's got custom suspension here. You're going to see this a little bit behind, but when you see it, you'll see it. And it basically has these, yeah, huge suspension.
It's incredible, that, isn't it? I like it.
It actually works really well. Like, it's kind of like custom hydraulics almost, but it seems to be very, very functional. And obviously, wheels are tough, and the blast door blocks that it's made out of are tough. Because it can
got wheels on top, hasn't it? It's got like wheels to act as suspension on the suspension.
The wheels that, yeah, those small 1x1. I just got run over. These 1x1 wheels are like the suspension actually, or like the force that's pushing back against the. Just these being like this, but as it turns, you can see it. Look at that turning there.
Oh wow!
When it turns, when it goes into a turn, you can see it compressing on one side. Wow.
Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? It's really, I like how they got massive rocket launchers, of course, on the side as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a very, very well clever design. I like it when people experiment with the suspension and stuff like that. It's got like a bit of a tilt to it, doesn't it, as it corners?
So I was saying, yeah, like kind of leans into that, yeah.
But yeah, it'd be nice to see it go over a few different terrain types, wasn't it? But maybe, that's a test for the time.
And I see some comments about it as well, like the biggest motivator to upgrade. I'll hear Num Charlie saying, the biggest motivator to upgrade my GPU is SE2. The lighting looks so good. And it is so true. That's what I... Honestly, like, obviously, the new building system, there's some very cool things, but for me, as someone who really kind of creative, who enjoys, like, the screenshots and making cinematics and stuff, like, when I'm playing SE1, it's actually, I miss the visuals of SE2. Only because we've been spoiled with it, you know? Yeah, and you just saw those planets, right? That, like, big canyon that we saw at the start of the stream. And you guys look, I mean, this is like a modded planet, so again, the textures are doing some strange things, but they don't normally do like quite like this. But still, this is a good example here. If we come up here and have a look at the valley, I don't know how I can do this here. Like, how can I show this? And you can see it's growing a lot because this is the planet is massive. I don't know what scale this is, but I'm trying to just get like an example. Just a powerful example for you guys. I don't know how to... Hold on.
The height. You can always put GPS, I guess, and I'll put an antenna up and just measure. Well, yeah, it seems to shrink, doesn't it, and extend? Oh yeah, that's interesting, isn't it?
Anyway, this is probably SE1. I wouldn't say like at its worst, because there's some very strange things happening here. Like, this should not be tiling like that. But again, it's because it's so big, this planet.
Is it your field of view as well, or is your field of view
normal? No, field of view is normal. So this would be a bad example, but I want to do something real quick. Hold on. Give me a second, guys. And this is not at all about... I'm not saying this is a way to, like, be mean to Space Engineers 1. We've had infinite fun at Space Engineers 1, and we still do on planets, and there's so much more. And again, there is some strange visual things here. But you guys know planets enough to know that if I bring up this image... I don't know why I read it like that. Oh, is this a video? Hold on. Video. Oh, here we go. Downloads. Oh, what happened to the quality? Well, the quality of the screenshot is a low quality screenshot, but still, can bring this up.
Enhance.
Boom. So I'm just showing on this stream now, and this is the teaser from Marek's recent dev diary, right? The clouds, the jungle.
Oh yeah.
It's I don't know, guys. Give me a number. Like, how are we feeling? We feeling like a 10x in terms of fidelity over these? I don't know, but this gets me super excited. But again, this was a really not a good example for SE1. SE1, you know, can definitely look nicer than this on planets. It's just there's some strange things, but still, the reason I did it is because I think it's still like, even with that said, it's still very apparent. So, yeah.
Yeah, there's going to be a big difference though in quality of the planets, isn't there?
But then graphics isn't everything, isn't that right, Aaron? That's the point. Like we've been having a lot of fun on planets, and it's about what's the fun that you can have on the planet. So visuals are always nice and satisfying, but at the end of the day, we have a lot of fun on planets. You know?
It's an interesting argument that, because I know like a lot of like, I wouldn't say this is with Space Engineers, but with other games as well, is an older game with poorer graphics. The nostalgia factor like kind of wipes your vision of it. It clouds your judgment. I mean, of course, Space Engineers 1 looks great, so that's not an issue. But like, if you think about some really old retro games, then you kind of like, oh yeah, that was really good. But then you boot it back up and you're like, oh, I don't know if my eyes are going to hurt looking at this for a few hours now.
Yeah, no. So true. And I just think like, oh, I don't know. I'm just excited.
Yeah, a few more Dakar in the SE2. Comments as well.
Exactly.
Do you reckon you'd host that?
Of course, I'm waiting.
Because they don't do the Paris Dakar rally anymore, do they?
Oh, safety reasons, I think. But they.
Yeah. Because I would love to do something like that. That'd have been great.
I know you and your trucks, Aaron. I'm sure that's like right up your street. Enter into it.
Yeah, I tell you that. Yeah, because they did the racing trucks, don't they? And the racing trucks are faster than some of the cars. Because have you ever heard about that? Like, I know we're going off on a tangent here. Like, basically, the teams had like a support trucks, and the support trucks started racing each other.
I didn't hear about this. No.
Yeah. So basically, the support trucks had their own separate race at the beginning, and they started becoming so fast that they ended up with their own competition. And some of the support trucks were more powerful and faster than the cars and the bikes.
That's crazy.
Plus, they could also carry all their stuff on board as well.
Wow.
But yeah, they are beasts of trucks. Them so much power.
Yeah.
I always think of that when you see these nice, tasty rovers in Space Engineering with the big wheels and stuff. It's like, yeah, this rover means business.
Yeah. It's and that's what I was seeing a lot. I think even, you know, I've seen a lot of rovers, especially these last couple of weeks. Like people building crazy for these races that we've been doing. But I mean, Eclipse says SE1 graphics underrated. Just stare at SE1. That is so true. I mean, I was only bringing that comparison planet specifically, but if you guys have seen the fieldwork pack, right? You know, we were going through this interior just the other week with Alzumi, right? All these blocks, and like SE1 blocks are still getting better and better and better and better and better. It's just like it's crazy how good the guys have got with that. So I think that's what I was saying, is that while SE1, SE2 is a big upgrade over, in terms of graphically, in different ways, just the biggest noticeable difference I think that you guys are seeing is in the voxels, if that makes sense. The blocks of SE1 and SE2, there is still a step up, but I think it's, SE, it's actually not about the blocks as much. It's more about the lighting in SE2, I think, with the ray tracing and stuff like that. Like if you incorporate, if SE1 had some of the lighting tech, I think, it would be, you would see more of that, if that makes sense. So.
Yeah, no, I do get you. I get you with that. To be honest, though, I still think SE1 looks, I know we keep saying this, it still looks really good.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yes, Space Engineers 2 looks amazing, but this is a game that I'd happily play for days and days, and I would compare this to other games, in the similar sort of category graphically, where it looks good. It builds and plays well. You can do a lot. You can have a great time with your friends playing this game. It ticks a lot of boxes. Space Engineers is still my dream game. Like, as funny as that sounds, this is a game that I had fantasized about for years and years as a kid. I want to be able to build whatever I want. I want really fun challenges, and I want to be able to play with my friends. And this game ticks the box. And I haven't found anything really out there like this. There's things that are similar, or things that try doing their own takes on it. And we all know the challenge with building this sort of game, but it's beautiful what Space Engineers 1 has achieved, and especially the community that it's managed to capture, and the creativity within them community members is beautiful as well.
Yeah.
Look at them. They're really nice, aren't they? They're right from the field work, aren't they? Them.
Yeah.
Are they the hydrolysis?
This, I think, yeah, this is the gens. Yeah, the new generators. They're beautiful here.
If you could build a block, what would you build, Joel? What sort of block would you like to build?
If I had to make a brand new block?
Yeah, you can make any block you want. You can make a physics block. You can just make a pretty block. What are you building?
Recently, I've been taken hostage by the Mech builders. It's gonna have to be like it's going to be like a ball joint or something.
Oh, why? That's exactly what I was gonna say.
There you go. We're aligned, Aaron. We're aligned. There you go.
That's so funny that because
those tank tracks. Oh, but yeah, I think ball joints would just open up so much, like in the robotics and mechanical thing. Like even though tank tracks would look very cool, I think ball joint.
Yeah,
that kind of thing has got to be,
because you can make one to a degree if you combine a rotor and a hinge.
Sure,
you've kind of made it, but it's not a complete block, and it could be a bit more simplistic, I guess, as well.
Yeah. I mean, this is looking. I mean, this is all looking awesome here, guys. Just shout out to all the creations. Like this is, we're still seeing the best creations we've ever seen in SE1 these days, and it's just nuts. Like the level of detail and on these grids we're looking at just today and in general is just amazing. I appreciate everyone sharing all their builds today. We will probably start to wrap up today's stream, but we've had a good hour at least. I mean, it's not all been that focused showcase, but we have covered a lot more builds driving around, I think, this time, Aaron, than we did in the previous showcase.
Yeah, it's been a nice combination of things. We've had a look at a lot of builds, and we've discussed some sort of hot topics and things that are on the community's mind as well, and some random topics as well. That's always nice just to go into and have a bit of a. Oh, that's so cool seeing that drive around there and that go up onto that ramp.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? It's lovely. It's just nice to see so many people just spawning in their creations and showing off what they've got. We really need to do more ways of, get more ways for the community to show off what they're building. Is that a train there? Is that the train from the?
Wait, hold on.
Have you? One thing to say: has everyone seen the music video? Have you seen the music video that came out recently, as well as the workshop train video as well? That wasn't so much recent. There's been 2 music videos that have been put out and have been absolutely incredible.
Wait, I saw there was one posted that was about, like, it was like
a thank you Keen. Yeah, and there was also the Steam Workshop train one that's been out for a bit as well. Have you seen that one?
I'm not sure I've seen that one.
It's another song.
I'm gonna have to check that out. Apparently, I've missed the train. I definitely saw the thank you Keen. That was great. That was really great.
Oh, yeah, but too bad you can't show them. Too bad you can't show them because that was just like, oh yeah, that was like next level sort of creation, sing writing within Space Engineers.
Right, I'm gonna have to check out this train then.
Tear to my eye.
Tear to your eye. Oh man,
it was, especially the thank you Keen one. I thought that was just really nice. And then the Steam Workshop one was a bit of a more comedy one. But I love a train, so you can't go wrong.
Oh well, that's what I'm saying. Talking of trains, I was saying about ball joints, but what about those what about like tracks and stuff? Right? I know people do it. Like even our official developers do it, right?
Tracks though. I think you can build tracks and easily enough without an official track block. I know a lot of people would like cogs and gears, so that people could start building like gearboxes and different systems that are cog and things like that. I've heard that a lot in the past. I know the tank tracks mod that they've built has been incredible, and of course everyone wants more weapons, don't they? Even some torpedoes or a slow firing track. Like I know we probably never give it them, but I know homing torpedoes is something that people have wanted for ages.
For weapon, like I think in the when it comes to weapons, I think like if we added more, that's the big one that's missing. I think is like some kind of seeking missiles. But then again, with that, the problem is you then have to have something to balance it. So you have to we have the flare launcher, right? So it might not be too far off, but yeah, if you have something that is as powerful, honestly, as homing missiles, you need to be able to have something to kind of counter it. But it seems like it wouldn't be too far off. Like people have homing missile mods, there's plenty, and we have a launch already. We just have to make sure it's all set up, you know, to
because I mean,
function.
I guess you could, like, my fantasy or dream would be you use the laser antenna to designate the target, and then the rocket flies to it. So it requires some manual sort of targeting.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? And then two components together, so you could then guide it in. But yeah, I mean, there's lots of different areas that players want to explore, and like if we could go into a whole other debate about shields and things that players really want, and there's a whole pro shield and you know, a no shield sort of team. So yeah, it's lovely. It's shaped up just right, and it's walking that sort of thin line of balance and gameplay and fun and realism, all there wrapped in one. And when the survival update does drop, it's going to, you know, give you guys the options to get a little bit more realistic if you want to as well.
It's I mean, that's the same for SE1, guys. Keep the feedback coming. Let us know. You know, obviously you know what's coming next, with some survival focus, with environmental hazards and farming, which is going to be crazy. I mean, look, for example, look at this. Look how cool this room looks, right? We're then talking about visuals. Like, this looks incredible. Like the kind of like this kind of laboratory, and we have like the shadow on the right. Like, this is such a nice scene. Imagine having some kind of farming blocks in here, okay? You know, some kind of stuff. Maybe there has been some things.
Yeah. You know what? When they were talking about it, like I was like, oh, like, you know, so are we going to be able to build like a tractor, and then you'd lay out all these farming tables and drive across it and mow these things, and they were like, oh, I don't know about that, Aaron. It sounds like you're just talking about farming simulator there. I know if people could, they would just want to turn it into a farming simulator, wouldn't they, really? Yeah. Just have crops, and then some big drills or some harvesting machine to fly across and harvest it all. But, you know, you'll have to see.
Have to wait and see, guys. Yeah.
Have to see.
Oh, is it the rover in here now? So, Aaron, anything else here as we kind of bring today's stream to a close? Any more thoughts to share, or news, or anything?
I think we've touched on pretty much everything. I recommend, number one, get yourself subscribed to that newsletter. That's where the information is going to get to you the quickest. It'll be delivered to your email, and you'll be able to check out everything that Space Engineers 1 and 2 is happening. That's my first recommendation right there. The second thing is jump on our social media. We're always giving out leaks. We've got the TikTok, we've got the Instagram, and we've got all the other platforms as well. So tune into whichever one you like. I'm always dropping stuff on Instagram and TikTok and trying to get you the latest and greatest. And I'm always saying, please let me leak this to the community. Let me show them, you know, what we're working on behind the scenes here. So yeah, definitely tune in. On top of that, we've already mentioned the feedback and the support. It is critical, and we appreciate it so much when we get some really good feedback on how we can change and adjust features, and also have a think about your feedback when you are writing it. Is it logical? Would this improve the game, or would this just be a feature that I'm really, really craving? So have a think when you're writing your feedback. Same with bug reports. Get your bug reports in. Make sure you've got the logs if you can write logs. If it's something that requires a video, add the video there to that report. Anything you can do to help us solve that issue. But overall, just a massive thank you for being such an awesome community, you know, and supporting Keen when we've been developing both SE1 and SE2.
Definitely, guys. We say it all the time, every week, but it's deserved. It deserves to be mentioned. You know, it's like community has never, does never, and will never cease to amaze us. You know, it's really it is truly a community-driven game, Space Engineers. And that's something I've loved about it for years, and the community is amazing, and we've got so many different types of builders and players who are so focused on achieving whatever they want. Same with modders, so it's an incredible community to be part of, and you can see they're doing right on the video right now what they do best and blow everything up at the end of the day.
That's it. And you know, if you guys are looking for players, jump on our Discord. There's loads of players who are looking for, you know, to make friends, get stuck into survival worlds together, and make some really fun gaming memories within Space Engineers. And it's all pretty much a click away on the Discord.
Yeah, I just got blown away.
So was that a bit romantic?
No, I was laughing. I was laughing because I just got
engineering?
blasted in the face. But no,
good.
All what
Good,
Aaron
right.
just said, guys.
Yeah.
I got absolutely just shredded there. But whatever this creature is,
Yeah.
look at this
I
thing.
thought I was over romanticizing it a bit, but
No,
yeah,
no. Honestly, the Discord is the place to be. You know, in terms of resource finding and just good vibes, and of course, like information from Keen comes, from all the different channels. But from the community standpoint, obviously Steam Workshop, the actual creations, but the Discord's a great place to chat, to get help, make friends, all that good stuff for sure. Wow, it's all coming out now, and buildings been turned on, damages have been turned on, absolute chaos.
Oh, I love it.
Has been unleashed on the server. But
look at that mech in the background. You seen that giant thing?
No, I know. It's just crazy.
You know what I'd love to do is recreate, the Star Wars scene, where you take the AT-AT down by wrapping something around
Wrapping
its
some
legs.
kind of cable.
Yeah, yeah. Like doing that to one of these would just be great fun, wouldn't it? Or even having two ships with a chain towed between them and then just drag. Like this is like video idea stuff right here. If content creators are listening, there you go. That's a moneymaker right there. Get a nice big rope between two things and rip some mech's legs off.
Oh man, I've seen cable mods and stuff. But the problem is like they don't normally have physics. They do pull, but they don't like stick to grids and like wrap around. But it could be done, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you've seen the physics in The Last of Us for their cable.
I haven't actually.
No, it's very, very impressive. Like you can literally tangle yourself up with the cable and tie yourself up. Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, like if you haven't seen the physics of cable within The Last of Us, check it out, guys. Because once you see that, you'll be like, "That's what we want for Space Engineers 2," and we're like, "Oh, hell no, that's insane."
Well, the server's about to die. It's finished as it normally might finish with a rain of warheads.
yeah. Well, they say it either goes out with a boom or a fizzle, doesn't it?
Oh my goodness.
Either way, Joel's PC is gonna melt.
It's holding on so far, kind of.
Yeah. Not smelling that burning smell.
No, not quite yet. Oh my goodness. We shouldn't approve of this, but holy freaking moly, it's kind of beautiful in a way.
Yeah, it always is. I love it when bits rip off as well and they go flinging across the sky. Because the thing about the warheads as well is they have a bit of propulsion behind them, don't they? So if you time it right and a piece rips off and then it's propelled by, an explosion, then it darts off across the screen somewhere, and next minute your mech's arms and legs are flying off into space.
Look at this square that's been cut out here. Amazing.
Is this some sort of cluster bomb that's been dropped and everything?
It was like a preset. I don't know what it is, but it's, oh my goodness. It's like some preset cloud of warheads that somebody pastes in. And this is nuts. This is I guess what we're gonna. I'm kind of lost for words right now. But there's like, I don't even know what I'm looking at right now. But it's like it's like a huge, like 6-legged mech or something. What the hell?
Yeah, it's definitely
crazy.
Definitely impressive, whatever it is.
Whoa. Came in right at the end of the showcase here. It's a boss from Armored Core 6. Holy moly. Look at this.
Yeah, that's big, isn't it? Is its legs stuck in the ground?
I think
so, yeah. Drills as well?
Yeah, it's got like a big drill, circular grinding drill thing at the front of it.
Spectacular, that.
Wow. Well, that's going to be a nice screenshot to end on, I think. But thank you guys so much. Who's it by? Let me see. I didn't get a lot. It's very hard to get everyone's names when we're doing. Hold on, I'm not sure I can get to it. Server's pausing here.
It's gonna be
Who's it by? Let me know in the chat, guys. Who's this by? Let's see. I don't know. Everyone's saying 07.
You figured it out yet?
Not yet. Not sure. Oh, hold on. We're recovering. I'm just gonna try and get there. Hold on. Oh, it's so bad right now.
Oh, it's always the case, isn't it, when the creations get that big?
Here I am. I'm here. I'm so close to finding out who it is. It is Zoom Zoom Game is the name of the creator.
Of course it is.
Of course it is, yes. Zoom Zoom Game. With the Zoom Zoom Game, yeah, by the AC6 Strider. Oh.
There you go.
My screen just my screen just went black. Like my entire monitor just like completely went black there. I have no idea. The game stayed up, so I don't know what that was about. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us for today's stream. We the next stream will be SE2 probably, because there's always more to check out there as well. So we'll continue this. I can see a rain of warheads in the background. Just in the top right of the screen, I can see a massive cloud of warheads. So I'm actually probably, oh my goodness, I'm probably going to back out of the game before my PC explodes here. I can't even exit the game. But it was great having everyone today. And let me just come back to this.
Yeah, it was lovely, guys, as well. It's always nice to see what wacky stuff people are building.
Definitely. I mean, it's a mix of things. We kind of came with some news. We kind of did a bit of Q&A, a bit of kind of speculation, a bit of kind of dreaming about future things for both games. And I hope you guys had fun. That's what the main thing's about. Good fun as a community. And we'll be back very soon. But I always say this as well at the end of the stream. There's never been a better time to be a space engineer. There's so much coming out from from actually the developers, but also, from the community, and the whole ecosystem is absolutely popping off, as they say. So
it is popping off.
Any final words for today, Aaron?
No. I think I've
final word at it already. I've given you multiple.
Speech. Yeah. I think you should finish with your favorite piece of Space Engineer's Dad advice.
So that's all for now, guys. And if your rotors are banging, better hope your ship ain't clanging.
That was really good.
Gone, man. Solid gone. Thanks, guys. See you next time. And thank you, Aaron, once again for joining me. Have a good one. Have a great weekend, guys. See you soon. Bye-bye.